Hey guys, Badger here. It's a lovely snowy day in Englandshire, and this is my first episode of Why Badger's Sad. So I thought I'd start off with quite a controversial topic, especially as I'm not American: gun control. Now, the first thing I want to say is I'm not just some British guy who doesn't understand what it's like to be a gun owner. Obviously, not many Brits know what it's like to own a bunch of rifles, but I target shoot 177 air rifles and 2.2 rimfire rifles, so I totally know how fun it is to shoot. I've never hunted, as I still don't know how I feel about it ethically. Of course, despite my shooting history, it's obviously not the same as shooting high-powered rifles, pistols, or assault weapons. So just as a disclaimer, I may sound like I'm talking out my arse to some of you, probably quite a lot of you. So I know it's quite a controversial subject to start on, but I've been wanting to talk about it for a while, and I've just watched the latest Machinima Team Respawn Inbox, and they were talking about it, so I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to actually get this thing going. So yeah. I really hate it when politicians say that guns are the reason there is so much violence in the world and everyone should be punished for it. Every single person who shoots at my club are extremely safe and responsible with their guns, and I'm sure you guys would say the same. All the people you know who shoot are safe and mature. The problem is, sometimes we do have to make sacrifices to protect people from those few disturbed, evil, or mentally challenged individuals who want to hurt people with them, either for fun or because they think it's the way to solve problems. Now, whether it's ethical or not, I honestly believe America couldn't take the transition of live-fire weapons were either banned completely, or even if new laws were implemented that banned the use of all except pistols or rifles. And for that reason, I don't believe that should be done. Don't believe any of those bans should come into effect. However, President Obama's gun control proposals are a brilliant start, in my opinion. Let's look at the reasons most Americans say they keep guns. 1. Hunting. Hunting is a big part of American culture. I get that. It's obviously even practiced by a lot of people in the UK. I totally understand that a lot of people always enjoy hunting. To be honest, it's a natural human instinct. That feeling of power, satisfaction, and pride people get when getting a clean kill, that's psychology, the feeling of dominance over lower creatures in the food chain. Best weapon for hunting? Well, it's hard to pass up a reliable 798 or M700, but an M16 AK, not so much. So, could we ban assault weapons from the hunter's point of view? I don't see why not. 2. Protection. Carrying a pistol is incredibly common for Americans. America, as with any other country, can be a dangerous place, and a lot of people feel a lot safer carrying some sort of protection with them. Would criminals stop using them to hurt or threaten people if concealed carry permits were removed? Of course not. That's just ridiculous. So I actually believe, until the police force can make cities safer places, removing the people's ability to carry pistols would be both redundant and pointless, which I guess means redundant, and would cause unnecessary anger and protest. 3. This big internet issue, the government will eventually form a military state, so I must protect my family, air quotes, thing. I once saw the truest comment I've ever seen on the internet on a video about gun control. I think it might have been a SourceFed video, but I can't be sure. He basically said something along the lines of, air quotes again, "I hate the people who say they're just waiting to protect their family from the government with their assault weapon. You don't think the government would use any of those tanks or UAV drones they've got on you if you try to defend your family?" End air quotes. I paraphrase, but I completely agree with what he was saying. I'm totally not saying that I think this is going to happen at all, but say in some crazy future it did, assault weapons would be next to useless. So basically, in my opinion, this argument is certainly not valid enough to allow assault weapons to be kept. I think it's just ridiculous. So Obama's changes on gun control. The assault weapon bans and the much more thorough background checks, I really don't think they go too far, and I certainly think they are needed, especially as well his mental health treatment improvement proposals. Before I go on, I'm just going to talk about the Sandy Hook shooting, and I just want to say, when I talk about that topic, I no way mean to insult the families of the victims or the victims themselves of this terrible tragedy. So why did the Sandy Hook shooting happen? Because Adam Lanza got a hold of his mother's weapons? Because he was severely autistic and his mother was convinced the world was going to end, so killing all the people he saw as, air quotes, evil, as not that big of a deal? Or was it because he didn't get the treatment he deserved in the first place? Yes, assault weapons should be banned, but we can also not forget about preventing this sort of incident happening again in any situation. I mean, on the same day as the Sandy Hook shootings, a mentally disabled man injured 22 children and an adult in a Chinese school with a knife. 2 of those children were seriously injured. So the whole guns don't kill people, people do saying comes to mind. In conclusion, I believe the federal assault weapons ban should be brought back into effect. I think Obama's proposals are all reasonable, and a brilliant start in the ridiculously long path to minimising gun violence. Rifles and pistols, I think it'd be too much of a change at this point in time to completely remove them from the American way of life, and I don't really think they need to be, but I do think the background checks are needed. Although I have to say I personally have absolutely no problem allowing shooting ranges to hold any sort of weapon as long as the environment stays as safe as they are now. Because I know obviously a lot of people enjoy going down to shooting ranges and firing off an M16 or an MP5 or whatever. So I think I'll leave it here, and this is quite a short discussion, but I sort of want to hear your guys' feedback before I continue and before I go into a lot more detail. So I think I'll just leave it there. Thanks for listening. Please feel free to comment on how you feel about the situation or on how you agree or disagree with my opinions. So yeah, keep watching, and I'll see you guys later.